So, College Success is the name of this course. What's it about? Well, trying to help you succeed in college. So what does the word success mean? Not like a fancy vocabulary definition, but just what does that word mean? Sometimes people will give me answers like, to succeed means to make a lot of money, or to succeed means to be happy in life, or to succeed means to graduate from college with all A's, or whatever. But those are specific versions. I just want a definition for the word. So here are 3 different reasonable definitions, simple, straightforward ways of defining the term. So accomplishing your goal is the fancy way of putting it, the way the textbook will talk about it. Finishing what you start is a vocabulary definition that TCC uses in some of their materials. We've got pamphlets and brochures instead. Being a success is finishing what you start. You have now started this class, so finishing the class would be succeeding in the class. And my vocabulary, just the least fancy way I can think to put it, is to do whatever it is you tried to do. If you were trying to tie your shoes and you wind up getting them tied, you succeeded. So just whatever you're trying to accomplish. So if this class is about college success, it's about helping you succeed in college, which means it's helping you accomplish your college goals. Different people have different goals for what they're trying to accomplish in college. And so if I'm going to help you succeed in college, you have to help me figure out what it takes for you to succeed. In other words, you have to share with me what your goals are so that I can help you reach those goals. The class has a whole bunch of material in it. Some of that material is going to apply directly to you and what you're trying to accomplish, I hope. Some of it probably isn't. There'll be some material in this class that will be aimed at people that need help with stuff that you've already got figured out or that you don't care about. I'm going to try to help everybody. If you can explain to me or the sub today what you need help with, then we can help you with it. If you don't help us, we can't help you. If you don't tell us what you want to do, we can't help make sure that you get it done. So if this class sucks, it's kind of your fault. At the end of the semester, it'll be up to you to have helped me show you what you need help with. The purposes that people have for college, if I were here, I would have us discuss that, and maybe Tracy will want to do that. But some people come to college to make their parents proud of them. Some people come to college to get a particular job they have in mind. Some people come to college to learn stuff that they want to know. Some people come to college, I think I came to college because I didn't want to go get a job yet and I didn't know what else to do. So different people have different purposes. I didn't really have a plan. And so what I would have needed help with was figuring out what my plan was going to be. Some of you have a plan really clearly mapped out for yourselves, and what you need help with is the steps in that plan, how to get from one place to the next. So I'm going to try in this class to give advice to everybody on a lot of different topics. Suppose that somebody that you know needs help with something. They call you up, say, and they say, I'm lost. You're not able to help them yet. You need information from them before you can help them. You need to know what they're trying to accomplish. So first thing, well, where are you trying to go? Let's say they want to go to the FSU Stadium. Okay, where are you coming from? You're going to need that too. So where are you now, as well as where are you going, are things I need to help you get from where you are to where you want to be. That's not enough though. Where are you coming from? Where are you going? But then also, what conditions have you already placed on your progress from one place to another? So if they're at TCC and they want to get to FSU, you also need to know, are they going to drive, or are they going to walk, or are they going to take the bus? Because you give them different directions. If they're driving, you need to put them at a parking lot, not just the stadium. If they're going to take a bus, you need to tell them how to get to the bus, not how to get to the stadium, and so on. So again, those are the 3 basic ideas of this class. What are the assignments going to be? Well, a lot of them are, where are you coming from, self-assessment, survey sorts of questions. A lot of them are, what's your plan? What do you want help with? Where are you headed? We're going to talk about long-range career plans. We're going to talk about how to figure out the right major, how to make sure you're taking all the right classes. We're going to talk about financial independence and well-being in the long term. relationship advice, so on. And then also, what specific tools for moving from one place to another do you want improvement with? There's 3 different sort of subject areas in this class. There's career stuff, there's study skills and classroom stuff, and then there's also life stuff. So we'll talk about time management, money management, stress, health, well-being. Really, why people don't graduate from college isn't because they can't do the work. It's not because they can't learn the stuff or pass the test. It's because some other shit happens, that something comes up, something gets in the way, and so we'll talk about that as well. So that's my basic explanation of what this class has in it. Let me make sure I covered that here. You need these areas: study, classroom, career, and personal development stuff. You need to see where you're coming from, where you're headed to, and how you plan to get from one place to another. And I want to remind you right away, before the class has really gotten underway, you're good students. All of you are good students. Every TCC student is already a good student because you've already graduated from high school. Lots of people don't do that. You've already gone on to college. Lots of people who graduate from high school don't go on to college either. You're already in the top 2/5 of all students. You're better than most people are as far as your academic accomplishments. It's worth reminding you of that because mostly what teachers tell you is you did this wrong, you missed these points, this is a mistake, this is wrong. They're constantly focusing on what you didn't do right. But I want to remind you that you already have the tools that it takes. You already have the ability. You can do this. One of the reasons I want to remind you of that is because this can, not this class particularly, but college can be really disheartening at times. It can feel really hard. That's part of the game. In fact, if I'm going to expect you to learn anything, I'm going to have to ask you to do stuff that you cannot do. If I only ask you to do things that you already know how to do, that you're already able to do, then I'm not going to teach you anything because you can already do all of that. I'm going to require you, well, college is going to require you to do things beyond your abilities. And you're going to fail at some of those things. It's going to ask you to do stuff that you can't do and that you won't be able to figure out how to do in time to turn it in for the grade. You're going to miss some points here and there. You're going to feel like, I can't, this is too hard for me. Everybody feels like that. You're supposed to feel like that. That's part of what college is about. College should push you to or even beyond your limits. And that's part of it that I want to warn you about, because that way, when you hit that day where you're just sitting there thinking, well, why did I even, you'll know that's just how it goes. And it doesn't mean that you don't belong here. It doesn't mean that you can't do this. It doesn't mean that you should drop out and quit and go do something else. That's what college is like. You ought to feel overwhelmed and unable and like you're the only one that doesn't know what the hell's going on. There's a day like that for everybody. That day may happen to you on the first day of class. It may happen to you sometime in your senior year. It may happen to you when you're in grad school, but it should happen to you at some point. And I want you to remember then that you're a good student, that you can do this. How you respond to that day shows something about your character. And there are some challenges where you can't meet them, and your best response is to change direction and go a slightly different way so you find other challenges you can meet. Other challenges cause you to rise to the occasion and surpass yourself. And I can't tell you in advance which challenges are going to be which, but I can tell you in advance that there will be these moments where it's just overwhelming and too much for you. Tracy, who is subbing for you today, Mr. Stallworth is subbing for you today, will, I'm sure, be happy to tell you some stories of overcoming that kind of obstacle. And anybody that's here at TCC has had that experience. So remember, you can do this. You're good, you're smart, you're able, you're great students, and I'm glad to see you here.